25 Facts You Hardly Know About Adolf Hitler. The Nazi dictator, who was once the man behind the death of 6 million Jewish people during the Holocaust, is perhaps one of the most documented people in history. Even then, there are still facts that you probably do not know about him, including these 25 facts. Number 1. He admires Henry Ford. If his frequent mention of Henry Ford in his speeches is not enough proof of this, perhaps the traditional birthday gifts that he sends to the business mogul would cement this fact. Number 2. May 1, 1945, was the day he died. It was the same day when Osama bin Laden was pronounced dead 66 years later. Number 3. Hitler was abused as a child. His father Alois was an illegitimate son of an unmarried woman who grew up to be a drunkard and a philanderer. More than, he was also a very violent, and there were instances that he would beat his wife and his children, including Hitler. Number 4. He had a vicious plan for Moscow. Hitler's schemes were always unusual, but the one that should be on the top of the list is his plan for Moscow. Sources reveal that he had always wanted to bury the whole of the city under a human-made lake. Number 5. Hitler is an egomaniac. His high appreciation of himself made him believe that every woman finds him to be extremely attractive. This also made him very secretive of his relations. Number 6. He had only one real friend. A young man named August Kubizak, nicknamed Gustl, was a very gentle soul who survived the war and imprisonment. While Hitler was still unknown and pursuing a career as an artist, he roomed with Gustl. The young man published a memoir titled Adolf Hitler, My Childhood Friend in 1955. Number 7. Hitler had a few critics. Erwin Rommel is one of the few who does not adhere to the dictator's plans. He deliberately disobeyed the strongman's orders to enact Jewish genocide. Number 8. The tyrant was a vegetarian. This could, perhaps, be one of the best things about Hitler that many people do not know. He does not smoke, drink alcoholic beverages, tea, nor coffee. Number 9. Hitler once dreamt of being an architect. He just did not pass the entrance exam to the architectural school in Vienna, which hindered his plan of becoming one. Number 10. He had an addiction. From 1942 to 1945, Hitler also fell under the influence of drugs. He and his soldiers became addicted to methamphetamine, a stimulant that is said to treat obesity and ADHD. This prohibited drug can also cause psychosis, confusion, and even heart failure. Number 11. Many young women get obsessed with him. Just the sound of his voice during his speech can turn on passionate women, so they say. His niece Sheila, 21 at that time, his longtime mistress, Eva, 17 at that time, the English socialite Unity Mitford tried to kill herself by shooting her head with a bullet, are all hard cases proving this point. Number 12. Hitler was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize in 1939. How ironic that the man who slaughtered many would be included the list of the notable individuals. E.G.C. Brandt, the member of the Swedish parliament who is responsible for the nomination, never intended that it will be taken seriously, however. Number 13. Most of his women tried to end their lives. Julie Rubel, Unity Mitford, Eva Braun, Maria Reiter, Renate Mahler, all these women were linked or had a relationship with the tyrant. They all had a horrible end. Number 14. He had pictures of himself practicing his speech. Hitler had photographer Heinrich Hoffmann take snaps of him making speeches. Though the photographer was asked to have the photos destroyed, Hoffmann kept them and included them in his memoir instead. Number 15. He is a total spender. Biographer Volker Ulrich revealed that the Nazi dictator, who pretends to be the man of the people, spends much on luxury items like cars, clothes, champagne, and so on. Number 16. Hitler bred an army of talking dogs. Rumors have it that the tyrant and his henchmen kept and educated to communicate with them. These, according to the records, will help him win the war. Stories relate that he even killed one of the 2 dogs that became too attached to him before he killed it himself. Number 17. His favorite actor died in 2011. The Dutch Johannes Heesters passed away at the age of 108. As he did perform for the Nazi government, his behavior was examined closely for decades. Number 18. Hitler loved books. By the time of his death, he has accumulated approximately 16,000 volumes in his library. About 1,200 volumes survived and are kept in a university in America. Among his favorites are anti-Semitic literature, vegetarian cookbooks, military strategy, and the books on the occult. Number 19. He still is a bestseller. Royalties for his books like Mein Kampf, republished in 1933 as My Struggle, are still being collected and remains a bestseller in some nations. Number 20. This is Hitler's dental status in 1945. Though he has a natural fear for dental practitioners like many of us, he loved sweets that could have been the cause of the changes in his dental makeup. Number 21. Hitler farts too much. The tyrant had an extreme gastrointestinal problem called chronic flatulence that he had to let go at unexpected times. This disorder also required him to take 28 different drugs to control the condition. Number 22. The same family helped create Hitler's and Saddam Hussein's bunker. Karl Esser, one of the grandsons of the woman who was among those who designed Hitler's bunker, was the chief designer of the bunker for another infamous person in history, Saddam Hussein. Number 23. Hitler would have had a different family name. His father, Alois, changed his last name from Schicklgruber to Hitler in 1877. Number 24. A priest saved him from drowning. Historians claim that Hitler almost drowned in an icy river in Passau, Germany, in January 1894, when he was 4 years old, if not for a local priest who saved him. Number 25. He led the most strong anti-smoking movement. Research on smoking as well as its health effects was common during Hitler's reign. He even orchestrated the most powerful anti-tobacco campaign in the nation. What do you think of these facts? Connect with us through the comment section below.